Hello viewers, welcome to Dailies on TVRC. I am Alexander Vincent, and joining me in the studio today is
Felicia Chinyere.
Here with me is the Vanguard newspaper.
With me is the Punch newspaper. From the front page of the Punch newspaper, PDP sues INEC, APC, 6 Obi to reverse disqualification. Sri Lanka's Prime Minister sworn in as acting president. Sri Lanka Parliament to elect new president Wednesday. Akwa Ibom decries decline in use of mother tongue. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Federal government approves 400 billion naira for poverty reduction schemes. News of Drake's arrest in Sweden force, says Steve. Ocean Poll. Group 1's against Amotekun Corps deployment. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper. We are not aware of 1.2 trillion naira proposal, says ASU. Muslim ticket, direct attack on Christians, says ex-SGF. Fayoshe's preference for Southern presidency creating confusion in PDP, says ex-rep. Still on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Confronts terrorists, eliminates them, Buhari tells security agents. This last one from the front page of the Punch newspaper. Kuje, 421 fleeing inmates recaptured, 454 at large. So, Mr. Vincent, welcome again to today's news.
Thank you.
This particular one that talks about we are not aware of 1.2 trillion naira proposal, says ASU. What's the take on that?
Of course, if they are aware, they would definitely say they are aware. They would want to come out open to say, they are aware about the statement, where the statement is coming from, and it's very much shady to them, and they denied it.
Okay, this other one says Muslim ticket, direct attacks on Christians, says SGF. What's the take, please?
In the history of Nigerian democracy, we haven't witnessed anything of such. Don't forget at the very inception, Obasanjo happens to be a Christian from the south, where we have Atiku, Muslim from the north. After Obasanjo, we have the emergence of Lusa Yaradua. He's from the north, Muslim. Then we have Jonathan, Christian. Jonathan, the president, Christian. We have Sambu, right? I think it's Sambu from the north. Then we have Buhari, who is a northern Muslim. We have Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who is a Christian. So APC presenting a Muslim ticket could only not but generate controversies.
Okay. So this one says Fayoshe preference for Southern presidency creating confusion in PDP. What's the take?
Well, right from the very beginning of this presidential primaries, Ayodele Fayoshe, the then governor of Ekiti State, has always made his intention clear that he wants the presidency to come to shift to the south.
Okay.
So far so good. He has not been able to. He has always been in between. He has not been able to take a cogent position as regards the current man who is a flag bearer. He has not really pitched his tent under the umbrella of PDP fully. Being a member of that same party, who has benefited so much from that same party. So one could only say that his presence or his positions at the moment is creating a lot of confusion in the PDP.
Okay, this last one says confronts terrorists, eliminates them, says Buhari.
We let's hope that they would do. It has always been talks in cheek. The last time it's shoot on sight for those who snatch ballot boxes, but it happened recently. Considering the recent elections, nobody has been shot on sight. So people are still carrying, there's what called proliferation of small arms, are still very much in the system. Where you see people carrying AK-47 headers who are supposed to be using sticks to to hit their cows, carrying AKs, and we still see them mounting tents in the forests and our forest. They are no longer safe or secure. So let's hope the security operatives are serious about this.
Okay, that's all from the Punch newspaper.
Okay, on the front page of Vanguard newspaper, selfish northern governors push Tinubu into same fate ticket, says Sheni, northern APC Christian leader. At times, we are hungry, dying, says physically challenged beggars. Zambia honors Obasanjo with highest award. And still on the front page of Vanguard newspaper, Nigeria under spell, says Pastor Enechi. This is also coming from Vanguard. Baba Ijecha, Yomi Fabi baby mama counters presence causes. And again, primaries, 30 cases, I beg your pardon, 30 cases filed against APC in Northwest. Forensic audit commission needed for port operations, Bello charges federal government. Don't link Obi with IPOB agitation, Kalu tells Sheikh Gumi. Nigeria loses fortune to IOC, engagement of unregistered state duos, state NASO. Suzuki, Automedic partner to empower female auto technicians. So, Miss Felicia, don't link Peter Obi with IPOB agitations, says Kalu to Gumi. What's your take on that?
Yes, the individual in this whole drive is Peter Obi anyways. And for him to have said so, it actually states so clear and glaring that it's a very Peter Obi to be spoken about. He's a very beautiful person and he's a man of high repute, and he doesn't really need to go with all of this saga of who's for him and who's not for him, or what he has done and what he has not done. So he's a very studious and dogged man, to say so.
Don't forget also, he also said recently that as he moves around for his places to canvass for the election, he has always been saying this: check my record, check my record. Do you think this coming from Che Gumi, do you think is actually called for, like you said?
Yeah, because if you have even checked, if they're actually going through records, past records, it's also something they've actually seen. I mean, it's obvious that something they've recorded and then they've seen that obviously that he has never had any bad reputation or any reason to be called to for any issue that's actually negative. So it's a very standard.
Let's take this. At times we are hungry and dying. This physically challenged people. I mean, this it is here they put us beggars, not people. They say beggars. Of course, beggars are part of the people, but this is saying the beggars are saying that they are dying and they are hungry. What do you think the government should do, or what do you think is wrong?
Yeah, if the bottom line is still the economic situation of the economy, like the state that the economy has got into right now. It was back then when everything was a bit okay. You cannot really say perfectly okay because at different times we see different challenges. So back then when things were okay, little they can see a little stipend from people who pass by and they give them something. Because as we speak, even those who give out now are also begging.
That's serious.
That's the worst of it.
Serious.
So,
that's serious. Is that what you call it, serious mental?
serious man.
Okay. This got me thinking. Nigeria under spell, Pastor Eniche. Do you think Nigeria is under spell?
For me, I don't think Nigeria is under spell. Who's casting the spell? Let's just ask that question. We are the one casting the spell whatsoever. But the point is, if he's saying that, as a pastor, he might see it from a religious point of view, that okay, it's only prayer that can really help out in this situation. But critically looking into this issue, it's something we caused for ourselves. Fine, these people that have become our leaders, we, in one way or the other, one time voted them in. So if something like this happens, then it's something we should be able to stand up for what is right. We should be able to correct our mistakes even before this election, forthcoming election. We've seen it all, we've seen a lot, so we don't need to be told. So I don't agree to the fact that Nigeria has been cast, spelled kind of. So I don't agree to that. It might be what taxes.
Now let me quickly chip in this before we move from that particular news. Now, considering the fact that ASU, they are still very much at home. What's it called? Petroleum that happens to that used to be sold for just peanuts is not becoming a big deal for the motorists. The agricultural sectors, we have the land, but are we feeding properly? So one could only reason that perhaps the pastor is, maybe he's saying something.
As I said earlier, he's actually entitled to his opinion, because a lot of persons also have a lot to say. And give it any name. The condition itself has different titles, so
many colorations.
Exactly. So it's entitled to his opinion.
All right. Let's take this last one. Muslim ticket. Make a change now. One is it tells APC. Do you think the APC should make a change?
Yes, to a large extent, because we have to. A lot of Nigerians really frowns at this. Except we want to bring back the old YouTube or the information back then as Islamization, the likes. So it won't really go a long way. Like it won't yield us any good result.
Yeah.
So it's okay when we consider the previous system, whereby we have different religious people who are leaders from different religious backgrounds who still rule the country in peace, in fairness. So why do we have to want to go so extreme?
Not even at this moment when Nigeria is so religious. Not really that Nigerians are religious conscious.
Exactly. So it usually bring out what they call war, religious war. So let us be very mindful. And
don't forget the country is actually sitting, according to some prominent people, that the country is sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
Imagine that.
Insecurity everywhere, religious crisis. Recently, we had about the lady was stoned in Shogun.
And then the kidnappings, because everything is boiled down to a particular religion. Because when you say a Christian is being kidnapped, and by bandits, they will actually believe that it's the Muslim. So
you believe they should make a change.
They should make a change. It will really help out. So that's my take.
Alright, viewers, this is our show for today. Do join us next time for another exciting episode on Dailies. Until then, we remain your humble host. Bye for now.